Hello, boils and ghouls. Welcome to Watchers Podcast with your hosts, Brad and Colson.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Why are you doing this to us? Because you were home.
I met him 15 years ago. I was told it was nothing left. No reason, no conscience, no understanding, and even the most rudimentary sense of life or death, of good or evil, right or wrong.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Hey everybody, welcome to the show. My name is Brad, here with Colson Oliver.
Hello.
And Colson, how's it going today?
It's going.
Good.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we've recorded an episode.
Yeah, a long time.
Nobody listening knows that.
No. It's
for
been
us.
a week for them.
Yeah. It's been a month?
Probably a month, yeah.
Yeah, it's
close
crazy.
to it, if not.
Yeah, a lot's been happening. Started a new job.
Yeah.
We now work at the same place.
We do.
I don't know if we have to tell it HR
Yes.
or anything, but
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's funny because we work in the same place now. I have not seen you. You have not seen me.
No, not once.
You're days, I'm nights.
Yep.
And you haven't done any night shifts yet, like evenings yet. If you have,
Just one, but it was a
Okay,
Sunday.
there you go.
So I'm out of there by 8.
I don't work Sundays. That's for the fucking
That's the Lord's Day.
peasants.
Tomorrow,
Okay.
I'm working a night shift. So
No, I might see you tomorrow.
yeah.
There you go.
What time are you usually out of there by?
In the morning,
Yeah.
5:30.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, once Nikki's done of work, my mornings will be. I'll be able to go in earlier.
Saturday, that's when I'll see you because I get my groceries on Saturday.
Oh, right.
So I also get the privilege of shopping in a completely empty grocery store,
That's nice.
which is it's always good.
That's what I liked about working on Sunday.
Yeah,
For the first few hours, there's nobody.
there.
I don't know if it's the same everywhere, but on Sundays we don't open our stores until 12 o'clock.
Right.
But when they open, it is a stampede of people.
It sure is.
It's insane.
Yeah, you can go by at like 11:50, and there's lines of people to get in. It's crazy.
The first Sunday I worked, it was super overwhelming
Yeah.
because I was just like, holy shit, this is so many people
Yeah.
all at once. Like, went from none to just insane.
Yeah, and I remember a couple of years ago with COVID, when they had to when the store would only allow X amount of people in, and they had them all lined up. It was crazy.
Yeah,
like you get there at I'll get there at 11:30. The store opens at noon. I'll be early. No, it's just like a Black Friday situation where I'm going to get the first TV, and then you go there like 8 hours before, and there's 200 people there. You're like, oh, fuck this.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, I forgot that was part of COVID, where
right.
you couldn't go in the store. You had to wait your turn.
Yeah, we work in a big store, and it was like, I think it was like 50 people or
went
something.
From like 50 to 75.
Yeah.
And that was it.
And then they just welcome back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
Yeah.
But yeah, lots of changes since we've chatted.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, hopefully we're on a better schedule now, though. Things are sorted out a little bit.
Yeah.
There was some stuff with work, with having to do inventory.
Yeah.
And my schedule being mixed up.
You started at a horrible time.
Yeah.
Like, it was just chaos at where we are, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, should smooth out now, especially. People might not even be hearing this until the new year. Like, it might be 2023 right now, but for us, it's still 2022.
Yeah.
Yeah, so who knows what the future holds.
Yeah, by the time they hear this, they'll be like, I'm done with that job.
Yes.
So yeah, have you watched anything?
I did. I watched the Fantastic Beast movies.
Oh, okay.
All 3 of them. Where to Find Them, Crimes of Grindelwald, and Secrets of Dumbledore.
Okay. I've seen the first one.
Okay. Did you like it?
I thought it was boring.
Yeah, they're prequels to Harry Potter in that universe. I had never watched them, never had interest to watch them. They went on sale, the 3-pack, so I was like, oh, I'll buy them, whatever. So I did. We watched them. They're okay.
Yeah.
Compared to Harry Potter, they're a completely different level. The other thing that really bugged me, Johnny Depp lost his job in the third one.
Yeah.
Because of the shit that went on with Amber Heard. And my wife and I, we watched all three in a row. And the third movie starts with Dumbledore talking to Grindelwald. I think that's his name. These fucking names are stupid. But they're talking, and I'm like, this must be somebody else. I don't know what's going on. I was so fucking confused. Different actor.
Right.
Looked nothing. If you know what Johnny Depp looked like, he had like shaved sides on his head and long hair on top.
Yeah.
Completely blonde. He had a white eye. Like you see dogs have those white eyes.
Mm-hmm.
He had that going on. He looked really cool. This guy they cast didn't look anything. He didn't. The hair was different. There's no eye thing.
Right.
I was so confused because I didn't know. I didn't know that Johnny Depp lost his job.
Yeah.
And I was just like, this must be some fucking different character that we missed or something. And then I looked it up, and sure enough, I found out everything.
Yeah.
But it's just such a confusing, like, I don't know if they expected everybody to know, and I just didn't know.
They're just like, yeah, they won't notice.
I don't watch, like, Entertainment Tonight and
No.
TMZ every night, you know? I'm like, I'm lost.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was, but yeah, I watched all three. Like I say, they're fair to okay movies.
Yeah.
Nothing special for me, so, yeah, that's what I watched that I'll talk about. And what about you? Did you get anything done?
I haven't been watching any movies, but I'm almost done of 2 seasons of a show called Only Murders in the Building.
Okay.
It's on Disney Plus. Stars Steve Martin, Martin Short,
yes, okay.
and Selena Gomez.
Right.
It's really good.
I've heard it's good.
Yeah. Funny enough, it's about a podcast.
Okay.
Someone gets murdered in their building, and they decide to do a true crime podcast.
Nice.
Martin Short is like a former stage director kind of guy, and he's like really flamboyant. Steve Martin is like a retired actor who was on a TV show in, I think it was the 70s, called Brazos.
Okay.
Where he's kind of like a MacGyver type character, I think.
Right.
Like a cop or something.
Yeah.
And then you don't know a whole lot about Selena Gomez's character.
Okay.
Like, you kind of find it out as you go.
Right.
But really, really good show.
Yeah.
My only complaint in season 2, they bring in Amy Schumer.
Oh. Why are people still...
I don't know.
She's not very well liked.
No.
I don't think, anyway. I don't know.
She's a terrible actor in this,
Yeah.
too. You're watching it, and you're just like,
Ugh.
everybody else is so good.
Yeah.
And then she says her lines, and you're like, ugh.
Is it a big part for her, or is it...
Thankfully, no.
Okay.
She's only in a few scenes. Like, she's in more than one episode, but
Right.
you don't see a lot of her.
Okay.
What's her name? Is it Jane Lynch?
Mm-hmm. The woman from 40-Year-Old Virgin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's in it in a really funny role.
Okay.
Like, kind of unexpected, and she's really good.
Nice.
Yeah, I would recommend the show.
I've heard a lot of good things about it.
Yeah, it's on Disney Plus, so
Yeah.
if you
Okay.
have that, it's easy to find.
There you go.
Or I guess only in Canada,
Oh.
because I think it might be a Hulu show.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, if you're American, I guess you got to watch it on Hulu.
Right.
I don't know how it works. Maybe it is on Disney Plus too.
Maybe.
Yeah. And I was in a movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
It was kind of cool. I was scrolling through Facebook, and I just came across an ad that was like, hey, we need background actors.
Yeah.
And meet in Cardigan, which is like 15 minutes from my house.
Right.
So I was like, I'll email and see what happens.
Yeah.
Get an email back. And they're like, yeah, sure, come on over. So it's a movie called Who's Your Father?
Mm-hmm.
Which, if no one knows, that's kind of like a popular thing on PEI to kind of figure out who your family is, because
Right.
everybody knows everybody.
I'm not from here, and
Right.
when you started saying that, I'm probably like most people, like, what? And then when you said that, it was like, yeah, because there's a realtor around here with my last name,
Right.
and most
And
people,
my first name.
Yes, most people ask me, like, you related to Brad? And I'm like, no, I'm not, no. But I get that a lot when
Yeah.
they hear the last name. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's funny.
It's very strange. Like, it's just become a PEI thing,
Right.
where people will be like, "Oh, like, who's your dad?" or
Yeah.
like, "Who's your parents?" Like, so that's the name of the movie. I honestly have no idea what it's about, except for the one scene that I watched like 1,000 times.
Yeah,
It's really cool seeing the process, like,
yeah,
because they would shoot it from. I guess I can say this much. I don't even know what I'm allowed to talk
Yeah.
about. You sign a consent form, but
yeah. Just don't spoil anything that you heard.
so Thanos comes,
Yeah.
snaps his fingers.
Oh, that'd be great. You get fucking sued and killed.
Yeah, so they're sitting at a table talking, and
Yeah.
another character walks up. So they would film it from both points of views of each character
Right.
at the table, and then they would film the guy walking, and then they filmed them looking at like a cell phone from up above.
Right.
The guy that walks towards them hands them a card, so then they film scenes looking down at the table with him handing the card.
Right.
And as you're watching it, you're like, okay, they're doing the same thing over and over again.
Right.
But once it's all edited together, there'll be all these different shots.
That's right. Yeah.
So it was pretty cool that way.
Now, did you? So you're eating in a restaurant or something like that?
Yeah.
Now, when you were eating or talking or whatever, did you notice are we going to get to see you?
Possibly.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Where I was seated, it was like directly across from the female character.
Okay.
So depending on the angle,
Right.
I'll be in the background.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now what we should do is we should review this movie when it comes out.
Oh, that's a great
And now my other question for you is, how long were you there?
almost 4 hours.
Okay.
For the one scene.
So it'll be fun. It'll be fun if we get to watch that movie.
Yeah.
If the scene is 5 minutes or if it's a 20-second scene or something, just to hear, like, oh, you were there for 4 hours or whatever, and it took 10 seconds of the movie or 5 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
It'll be pretty cool. So hopefully we can do that.
Yeah, it'll be cool to put it in perspective like that.
Yeah.
Like how long it actually takes to do something
Right.
like this.
No, that's cool.
It'll probably be like Mike Wazowski, though, on Monsters, Inc.
Right.
But like, there I am! There'll be like flowers in front of my
Yes.
face.
Exactly.
But yeah, the actual sitting at a table part was really weird.
Okay.
Because they're like, okay, just mime talking.
Right.
Like, you can't say anything out loud.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay. And they're like, don't touch the food.
Oh,
Like, and there's even a glass of water sitting there,
Yeah.
and you're not allowed to drink the water.
because
it'll-
if it would change levels.
Yeah.
Continuity, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. And the food, it's like, it was lobster.
Okay.
So there was like half-eaten food already on my plate
Right.
that I didn't eat.
Oh man! And it was real food?
It was real food.
Wow.
And the stink of the lobster the whole time.
Oh.
Like,
And yeah, probably after an hour, 2 hours,
Yeah.
then probably not good.
no,
Oh,
it was
boy.
really gross.
Wow.
If you watch my lips in the background,
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably just mouthing, I don't know what I'm supposed to be saying
That's
right now.
great. God, I hope that we get like a clear shot and we can see that.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
No,
So,
that's
yeah,
cool.
Who's your father? I don't know when it's coming out or anything yet.
Yeah.
They did email me and ask me if I could do more stuff, like
Okay.
background acting, but I had to work.
Right.
But, yeah, to know that I might get to do more is kind of exciting.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Great.
All right, so we've just spent about the length of time an episode normally is
Yeah,
talking.
that's right.
I guess we should get into our review.
Yeah.
The First Purge came out in 2018, has a 5.2 on IMDb,
Right.
and I'll let you give a bit of a rundown.
Okay, so the plot is America's third political party, the New Founding Fathers of America, comes to power and conducts an experiment. No laws for 12 hours on Staten Island. No one has to stay on the island, but $5,000 is given to anyone who does. Directed by Gerard McMurray, stars Yolande Noel, Lex Scott Davis, Joy Van Wade, and Marissa Tomei pops up.
The only name in the movie.
That's right. Runtime's about an hour and a half, a little bit over. We should mention now, due to the fact that there was a career change and time scheduling things, you watched this about a month ago.
Yeah.
It's been about 3 weeks, maybe a bit more for myself. So we're a little bit rusty.
Yeah. And I'll add right off the top, I don't love these movies.
I will add that. I second that.
Yeah.
That I don't love these movies either.
So I watched it, but it's not something that really stuck with me.
Right.
If we had have done the episode as soon as the movie ended, might have been okay.
Might have been.
But I took some notes. We'll get through it.
This is a second time watch for me. I watched it a few years ago, probably closer when it came out, but whatever.
Yeah. This one I never watched because I thought it took place in like the early 1900s, just because of the name.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm not into historical movies.
So they set the movie up in the first few minutes. We see people who need money. Their buildings are leaking. They hear then that they get $5,000 to participate. So it's kind of laying that, hey, we'll just stick around and not kill anybody or whatever, and we can get paid this $5,000. In New York, they mention, not in this movie, but it's heard from New Yorkers that Staten Island is considered a dump. I believe there is a actual dump on the island.
Yeah.
But they say it's a garbage place, and I've heard on radio shows like, oh, we're going to go visit Staten Island. It's like, why are you going to Staten Island? Staten Island has some nice views of New York City.
Yeah.
We see in the guy, he's running on his treadmill, and his view is spectacular.
Yeah.
I guess that's why you live in Staten Island, if nothing else. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
Great views, but yeah.
So would you take the 5,000 and stay, or would you be out of there?
Fuck. I don't know. Staten Island, if it was here where we are, like if it was like a world purge type thing, I would, or I guess if it's a world purge, you have to take part.
Yeah.
We're
kind of a perfect spot for them to do a purge.
Yeah.
Well, not really. We don't have enough people.
Right. Staten Island, I probably would. $5,000 is a decent chunk of change.
Yeah.
I'm
gonna risk it.
I would risk it. As long as I didn't fucking like cut somebody off or have like known enemies, then I probably would. But if somebody was like, stalking me, I'd be like, I'm not staying. Fuck that.
Exactly.
The first Purge movie, the original Purge movie, I should say, with Ethan Hawke, that I had to look it up. It takes place in 2022. And the Purge has been a thing for a few years. So that, according to online, it places this movie as taking in like the 2018, 19, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
They hand out contact lenses with cameras in them.
Yeah.
Which aren't available now.
No.
And it's like, okay, is this a real movie? Like, they do these things that are like, it's supposed to be, about the time, maybe even earlier than... Actually, it can't be earlier because the kid has a Halloween poster in his bedroom. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
So it has to be 2018 or after.
Yeah.
But yeah, they have contact lenses.
And I found it funny that they never bring those contact lenses into another movie after.
Right, that's the thing.
It was just this one.
Where are these
And that
things?
was it.
Yeah.
Because they were one of the coolest parts of the movie.
Yeah. Although, wearing those contact lenses makes you visible in the nighttime.
That's true.
Which I noticed, it almost looks like they have glow sticks in their eyes or some shit, because you can see these people watching you, and it was a creepy effect to use in the movie, but not practical if you're trying to be stealthy.
Yeah, that's true. True enough.
Yeah. Now, I got to ask you, if you were to take part in this, say it was in Staten Island where it's more people in a smaller area,
mm-hmm.
would you huddle in group like they do? They go to a church and there's like 50 people there.
No, I'm just staying in my house.
Exactly what I thought. I would never, ever go there.
No.
Anybody could just boot the door down. Anybody could burn the building down. Arson is legal.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know why you would ever do that.
No.
Especially if one person in that group of 50 is being hunted, you put everybody in jeopardy.
Yeah.
Stay by yourself and
exactly.
lay low.
If you go to like a community hall full of people,
yeah,
I'm like, this is my night that I was supposed to murder Coulson.
Exactly.
I'm going in there, and whoever's in my way,
you're getting slaughtered.
Yeah. But I don't understand how murder is so popular,
right,
in The Purge.
Yeah,
I find that the hardest part to believe in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like anything's legal, but all they ever really show is just people being murdered.
Yeah,
I want one like. I could star in it. I've been in a movie now.
Yeah, you're the big star.
Yeah, that's right. Where I could just like illegally file my taxes incorrectly.
Exactly.
It's
there you go.
Like mess my claim up so
That's
I get
right.
more money back.
Yeah.
That's a movie.
It's a good point. All they do is just murder.
Yeah.
Nothing else. Maybe you see women get attacked, but I'm sure it leads to murder in the end.
Yeah. And there's like a storyline with drug dealers in this one.
Yeah.
They could have fully dove into that more and made it more about like a drug trafficking because
right.
it's legal tonight or anything.
Yeah, the Dimitri guy is like the kingpin, which I have thoughts on the end, which we'll get to.
Mm-hmm.
His whole crew, he tells them all to stay home. They're not to do anything crazy.
Yeah.
Let's just fucking protect the business and whatever.
Yeah.
And a few of the guys get a little crazy and they're going to go purge.
Yeah.
And not only are they going to purge, but they're going to set up Dimitri to get taken out so that, I guess, in the end, they'll be the new kingpin. He gets set up by these two ladies of the evening. They make like they're going to bang him, and then they pull out knives, I think.
Yeah, it was...
They didn't do very good.
No, it was such a weird scene.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to kill the guy... Just be like, oh, I brought some ladies.
Right.
And then pull out a gun and shoot him.
Exactly.
He's dead. No one's going to know.
Yeah, nobody would know.
Like, why leave and assume these two young women are going to be able to kill this guy?
And sneak, like, yes, like you say, there's no point in doing it, like, low-key, like, slowly pulling out a switchblade or a razor blade or whatever to cut his throat. Just fucking jump on him and stab him in the head 50 times.
Yeah.
It's crazy. There's a character running around named Skeletor. Throughout the beginning of the movie, these government people are doing interviews with different people, and this fucking guy, I'm gonna fucking purge, and he's all crazy, and he's like, I need to purge.
Yeah,
like, shut up.
That's probably one of my favorite aspects of this movie was those interviews.
The interviews,
yeah,
and that's where we find out if you take part, you get more money. They will give you more money. So he's not only gonna get $5,000, but maybe per kill they'll up it a little bit. Skeletor is the first kill. He does the first kill to start the purge. Somebody's at an ATM machine and he like stabs him.
Yeah.
His fucking weapon is really stupid. It's like 4 syringes taped to his knuckles. Yeah. Like, are you really that dumb? Yeah. What are you, Catwoman? You gonna scratch me? It's like, I don't know, for such a badass, you'd think he'd have like 2 machetes or something. Yeah, because he has a really cool look for a bad guy. Yeah. All those facial implants and stuff are super creepy. Skeletor, though, he is the main villain, I would say, other than like later on we find out a bit more, but he's going around killing people. Isaiah, who is supposed to be in Brooklyn or one of those boroughs, with his uncle, ends up staying, and he's looking, because earlier in the movie he got ripped off or bitched out. As you can't see, I'm doing the whatever that's called with your fingers, bitched out by Skeletor, so now he's going to get him. Ends up losing his gun. He's just a dope. Yeah. That kid bugs me. A lot of these characters in this movie bug me.
Yeah, me too.
Anyway. So yeah, Naya and Isaiah are brother and sister. And she finds out that he's still on the island, which sets up the whole... She was in the church with all the people. Sets up the whole thing of her having to leave and go look for her brother.
Yeah.
She gets trapped by somebody who's grabbing her jeans. She pepper sprays him. Runs away. What is it? She pepper sprays him, runs away, saying... pussy grabbing motherfucker.
Yeah,
I was like, oh boy. Good writing. I like it. Dimitri, this is the cool part with Dimitri is he gets all the information from the women who try to have him kill him. And then he goes to the people who set him up and he ends up killing them. Of course.
Lets the ladies go.
Lets them go, but never step foot on Staten Island again. Here's on the news, they make mention of people wearing masks. And I personally, I imagine if I was taking part, I would wear a mask. Even though it's all legal, if you make it through the night and people see what you've done... You're going to have 364 days of people, like, looking at you like, this guy's a fucking psycho.
Yeah. All planning how to kill you.
Yeah.
The next purge.
Exactly. That's why you wear a mask, I feel.
Yep.
They make note of it on the news like it's a weird thing, like they didn't expect it or something. But for me, I think it would just be super awkward.
Yeah.
Especially if you're doing, like, creepy shit like Peeping Tom.
Yeah. Yeah. Then from then on, it'd be like, all right, don't trust... John.
Exactly.
He's a pervert.
Naya, who left the church, she ends up going back or whatever, and it got hit. A lot of people in the church are dead. Some of them got out. Now, I usually do kill count and stuff like that. No kill count in the Purge movies.
Yeah.
There's too many that happen very quickly, too many to keep count. Like, that entire church essentially got wiped out. So if there's 40 people in there, like, there's a lot of kills.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so the whole plot twist of the movie is that the government hired assassins, basically. They didn't have faith in that people would kill enough, and they wanted this to work, so what they did was they hired these people who are fake gangs or whatever to go through building to building and just slaughter everybody.
Yeah.
Marissa Tomei, who plays the doctor who kind of helped come up with this whole idea, didn't know that was happening, didn't like that happened. Well, you're done here. And then later in the movie, we see the guy get handed a tablet, and we see a woman get thrown out of a van and then get shot in the head.
Yeah.
That, I don't know if they didn't have an ending for Marissa Tomei or if that was their plan all along.
Yeah.
Because it seemed like they were just like, shit, we forgot about Marissa Tomei. Here, hand this guy a tablet and have him watch this video.
Yeah.
It's gas station footage of some woman getting shot in the head. You can't even see it's Marissa Tomei. I think she had blonde hair.
Yeah. And
that's mainly what you see is this woman get pushed out of a van with blonde hair.
Yeah.
Kind of silly, thrown in, it felt. But yeah. That's Dimitri's vehicle that he was driving had tags that expire in 2020. So I think that this movie takes place in 2019.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so I wrote that down. Now Naya and her crew that she's with are heading back to her apartment. Earlier in the movie, what the hell's the brother's name? Isaiah. He had his neck almost cut by Skeletor.
Right.
And he bled into the apartment. And then when they get to the apartment again, the woman who's with them points out the blood, and she's like, "Oh, Isaiah had an accident or whatever. I thought I cleaned up all the blood."
Yeah.
Now, in my brain, I'm thinking, okay, Skeletor's hiding in their apartment.
Yeah.
And I think that's what most people think, but she brushes it off like, "Oh, he hurt himself. I thought I cleaned it all up." There's a purge going on. Don't you think he would then be like, "Holy fuck, I'm 95% sure I cleaned up all that blood.
Yeah.
I better search this whole place." But no, we'll just trust that I got it all.
And nothing comes of that blood, is there?
I don't think so. That's what was confusing.
Yeah.
It made it set up like, oh, he's going to be in a closet and he'll jump out and kill some people. But as the people are going floor to floor, killing everybody, and they have this whole elaborate plan to get in the way, which we'll get to my favorite part of the movie in a few minutes here. They Skeletor at that point jumps out and starts killing all of the mercenary guys.
Yeah.
And I don't think he was in their apartment.
No.
From what I can remember, I think he just came out of one of the other apartments and started killing them.
Yeah.
But the movie is... It's kind of a mess in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, we're both not Purge fans. I don't know if this is my least favorite one in the whole thing, but it's probably pretty close.
Yeah.
I also don't like the fact that they did the military thing. It feels like cheating to me. Like we said, we'd both stay home. Well, you'd be fine if you stayed home. Not many people are going to go room to room to room just murdering people.
Yeah.
You're going to go find somebody who cut you off at one point and kill that person.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes it unfair that they did this whole twist with 50 ex-Marines or whatever the fuck these guys are, and they're just killing everybody with high-powered weapons.
Yeah.
It doesn't make it fair.
But turns out it only takes one guy to stop them.
That's right. My favorite kill, I will mention, is when Dimitri is in the stairwell with the guy and he chokes him. He physically chokes the guy. It looked, in a lot of movies, you can tell, like, they're not choking that person in the slightest. This one, they did a shot from, like, his wrist up. This guy's fucking jacked. So his arms are, whatever he's squeezing in that shot, he's fucking squeezing.
Yeah.
And on the shot of the guy's face, the guy does a great job acting, making it look like he is choking. Yeah. And the noises that they use of the popping, gurgling type thing, I liked it a lot. But for the movie itself, I don't care for. Now, I don't really have anything else other than the whole people that we see, all of them live, which is fine. Mm-hmm. That happens in movies. My problem with the movie is, I don't even know if I wrote this down. I'm reading through. At the end of the movie, they're leading Dimitri out, and they're praising this guy. This is our savior. This is the savior of Staten Island. Yeah. This is a drug dealer. He's a scumbag. 364 days of the year, and he saves everybody, or there's whatever floor of people. He's a drug dealer. He sells drugs to kids. Yeah. He probably sells guns. He probably deals in prostitution, as most drug kingpins would. Yeah. And it's like we're cheering. The whole neighborhood is cheering for this fucking guy. It's like, what are we doing here? They should have had somebody else be our hero. You know what I mean?
But he had to have his whole story arc of turning his life around.
Very true.
Because we do find out that he used to date Isaiah's sister. Right. And Isaiah has become one of his drug dealers without him knowing. Yeah. And he wants to protect them. But, but yeah. I guess, if he saved my life, I'd be like, yeah, this guy's awesome. Yeah. The next day, however, he's going back to being like, don't go near that guy. Yeah. He's a fucking drug dealer.
See, there's a movie, the John Gotti movie with John Travolta. Mm-hmm. The ending of that movie is literally like news clippings of people in the neighborhood saying, John Gotti's the greatest person alive. It's like, no, he's not. Listen, I'm fascinated. I love mob movies. I love drug movies. But in reality, there is a separation there between me. If I saw John Gotti's dead, but say he was alive, I would absolutely be nice to him. He may be nice to me. I'm not going to be fooled in thinking that this guy is a nice guy to everybody.
Right.
They beat the shit out of people who don't give them money for protection.
Yeah.
They're fucking scumbags, every one of them.
Yeah.
That's what they are. So don't get it twisted like this ending of this movie of this guy being let out. Like, this guy's the god of Staten Island. He's a scumbag. He's a drug dealer, piece of shit. It's just crazy.
What bugged me the most about the movie is this guy turns into John Wick.
Yes, he does.
He takes out all these guys that are like trained,
very high
mercenaries,
yeah,
like with high-powered weapons.
That's
and
right.
He just wipes them out.
Yep, not many issue.
No, and it's like, okay, you had a punching bag in your apartment there, your suite,
his treadmill.
Yeah, it's like, but I didn't see you training with like George St. Pierre or anything while you were there. Yeah. So no, that whole part was, I was like, oh, he's a completely different person now.
Yeah,
like it was so foolish.
Yeah. No, this movie, it's very silly. It's a very silly movie. I think they're shot nicely. They look good, but like you said at the beginning, it's not for me.
Yeah, I need a different location.
Okay.
Like if I put on a scene from 2, 3, or this one, or like just a screenshot.
Yeah.
You couldn't tell which movie it was from. They all look the same.
That's true.
I'm almost ready for another one back from someone in a house's point of view, like the original.
Right.
Because at first when they did the sequel, I was like, oh, this is great. This is a much better idea.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, okay, we've seen it.
Yeah.
The exact same thing happens every time.
Yeah.
Your group gets split up. You sneak through the alleys.
It's very true.
You don't get shot. You get spooked by people shooting at somebody else. No. It's like, it's too much of a formula now for me.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Yeah, I got nothing else.
Yeah.
Body count, I have it over 100, I'm guessing.
Yeah, that's probably a fair bet.
As for favorite, I mentioned my favorite. As for least favorite, it could be any other one.
Yeah.
One of the people getting shot. Who cares?
Yeah.
There's just too many to count.
Yeah.
Nothing made me jump. They tried a few times. There's a few scenes where he's walking through these dark spots and somebody would bang on a window or something. Not that type of movie. It's more of an action horror type.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Same with spooky, scary, terrifying. It's spooky.
Yeah. Yeah, as low as it could be.
Yeah.
For us, I guess.
Yeah.
Ratings?
A 5.
I'm a 4.5.
Yeah. It's...
Yeah.
I don't ever have to watch this again.
No, I own them. Bought them in a pack. And I don't even know why, because I fucking hated the first movie. But whatever. I own them all. I'll watch them very randomly.
I think I'm almost ready to go back and watch the first one.
Okay.
Just to see how I feel about it now.
There you go.
Yeah. So that'll do it for this episode. Let us know what you thought of the First Purge in the comments. Make sure to subscribe so that you don't miss an episode. And we'll be back next week. Bye.